Yeah, we'll have the door open too. They were saying it's much warmer upstairs than it is down here, but it's because the door's open, that's probably why. Here you'll just toggle up and down to change the temperature. And then here you could toggle between heat, off, and cool. Then either fan auto or on. If you put it on, the fan will run all the time without ever turning off. If you put it on auto, the fan will kick on anytime that the furnace kicks on. And then here is where you would put your schedule if you wish to do so. If you ever wanted to update this guy to a Wi-Fi based thermostat like a Nest or an Ecobee, you are able to. Furnace is compatible, so you can always go that route if you wish to do so. Okay.
Cool.
But otherwise, everything works fine on this. When around the house, trick for airflow, good airflow coming out of all the vents, so you're in good shape with that. AC unit is right here in the back. So it's a Carrier brand system. It's only 5 years old. Average life on furnace and AC units typically 18 to 20 years. So still lots of life left in on this guy. Too cold today to test it, so we just recommend it be serviced next spring, summer. Okay, just make sure that everything is operating the way it should be. Check everything, make sure it's working efficiently, and kind of catch any issues that might become a problem. Okay, so we get that done next season, next spring, summer. Okay. We'll go upstairs. Excuse this. Go upstairs. Talk about your furnace and water heater. Okay, as far as furnace goes, it's a Carrier brand system, Carrier big name company. This guy is 15 years old. Average life again on furnace and AC units typically 18 to 20 years. With this one, we're just going to say budget due to age. As far as condition goes, it's in good condition, but it is a little dirty, so you do want to get it serviced probably after you move in, just to make sure everything is operating nice and efficiently. Again, catch any problems or any issues before they become problems. But otherwise, you still have some time left on this furnace. Filters on the bottom. So periodically, between 1 to 3 months, you'll have to change the filter out. So here's where you would do that. This door.
1 to 3 months?
Yeah, between 1 to 3 months.
Ooh.
You don't change it that often at your house?
I don't have it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So it screws in like so. So you just unscrew this, door comes off. 1625 by 1 is your filter size. You can see how dirty this filter is. It is definitely due for a change. This is what they look like. So when you put the new filter in, you just take this out. And then the airflow. And actually, if you want, I could put this in for you now, or if you want, I just leave this. It's up to you, since we have one, and this is really dirty. And then what I always recommend doing is you take a Sharpie, write the date that you installed it, and that way you know when you put the filter in. So typically 1 to 2 months or 1 to 3 months is when you should change it. I usually change mine between 1 to 2 months. The more frequent you change your filter, the cleaner your furnace will be, the more efficient your furnace will be, and then it'll also keep the air quality high in the house. So it's going to eliminate all the dust and whatnot. Because look, when it looks this dirty, it's going to just recirculate all this dust and debris throughout the house. So, what I do is if it starts to look a little dirty, even if it looks white, but it still looks a little dirty, I take it out and put a new one in. They're not expensive. If you go to Menards, they're maybe about $1 or so a piece.
Oh.
So I usually get 12. If you change it once a month, you're doing pretty good. Okay. And then with this door again, you just put 2 hinge right here. And that white knob. Just screws in this. You don't have to take this panel off. I took it off just to check everything out on the furnace, but this will remain on when you change the filter. Okay. Questions before I move on to water heater as far as furnace goes?
So I have to take off the cover?
Just that one at the bottom.
When I change the
Just when you change the filter.
filter. Okay.
Yeah. The cover here at the top, you never have to remove. That's just what we remove to service the equipment. Otherwise, it's always going to look like this.
Okay. Sounds better.
Yeah. Yeah. So it'll always look like this, and then you just change that. You just take that cover off and to change the filter.
Alright, how about the
Water heater. So as far as water heater goes, 40-gallon tank made by A.O. Smith. A.O. Smith, also a big name company. This guy is 4 years old. Double check my notes here. Average life on water heaters typically 10 to 12 years. Unfortunately, this one looks like it may have not been installed properly.
Oh,
What is that? It's 4 years old. You can see all the rust, all the
Right.
corrosion, all the signs of leaking, even if you look on the bottom there. I took a lot of pictures of it. Based on the condition, this is typically what we would see on a water heater that was over 10 years old. So in my notes, I'm going to say based on condition, just recommend replacement. It obviously had a bad leak at some point, and it caused all this rust. Anytime you start to see rust around the edges on the top, and you also have some on the bottom, it's going to start leaking. You can also see the previous signs of the water. This will leak again. So it is something that you're going to want to replace probably sooner than later, because the last thing you want is to one day it comes in and it just starts flooding everything. Okay, you have a big problem on your hand. Average install on these water heaters usually $1,500 or so. So that's a lot cheaper. It's a lot cheaper than flooding the house. So, you know, it's all going to be included in the report. So that way, it's something you guys can go back to the sellers and talk to them about. But yeah, the way that it looks, it's not very good. It also was backdrafting, which means that the exhaust, and if you actually put your hand over here, you'll actually feel the exhaust gases come out of the water heater. So it's possible that something going on inside the water heater, it's not allowing it to draft out properly. So that needs to be checked out as well. Okay. So I did include that all into the report. Big takeaways is just the water heater at this point. Furnace, AC, still have some time left in on them. Just get it serviced. This after you move in, after you get settled in, you might call someone, get it serviced, and then this AC unit is a spring